Hello, my friends. Welcome to another chair yoga video. I'm Nina G, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me. Today's practice is about using our yoga to help us with balance. And since balance is different every day, that makes today a pretty good day to practice yoga and balancing. You'll need your chair. I've placed mine on my mat just to give me a little more stable surface to practice on, and we can get started. Join me. We're going to start today seated towards the edge of our chair with our feet connected to the floor, firmly connected to the floor. Sit up tall. Yeah, let that spine be long. Let the crown of the head reach for the ceiling. Allow your hands to rest in your lap. Now, I've turned my chair so that you can see my posture a little bit better. Your chair can be any way you want. But the very first thing we're going to do is a little shift from one side to the other. Doesn't have to be big, but feel that weight shift from left to right. And you might also tune into the soles of the feet and notice the weight shifting there from one side to the other. And then let's come back to center. Maybe do a little shift forward, doesn't have to be far, and a little shift back. Noticing the weight and how it moves. We could make a few circles with the upper body, probably feeling that more in the hips than the feet. Go the other way. And then let's come back to stillness. I invite you to soften or close your eyes and notice what it feels like here, right in the center, feeling balance between left, right, front, and back. And we'll stack those palms at heart center and just take a moment to set an intention for this practice. It might be that idea of balance. And then we'll release those hands back down to the lap. Let's take a circle or two with shoulders. And now with hands on the laps, let's tune into the soles of the feet. Maybe pick up your toes, spread them wide, put them back down. And as we inhale, let's pick up the right heel. And exhale, float it back down. And then we'll do that to the other side. Inhaling left heel up. And exhale, float it down. Let's try that again. Fluid movements. Notice the heel lifting and then connecting to the earth again. Now let's add in the arms. Let's reach the arms forward and maybe to shoulder height as one heel lifts. And we'll come back down. Other side. Let's try that again. Now, what happens if we take both heels up, both arms up? Feel what that feels like. And come down. Maybe we'll circle the arms out to the side, coming up onto the toes, imagining that we're balancing just on the toes, and come down. We'll do one more just like that. And then float the arms down. Pause for a moment. Notice how that feels in the body. Now we're going to sit back a little bit in the chair, slide back a little bit, maybe bring your feet a little closer in. As we inhale now, I'm going to lift up my, let's say, left leg, extend it in front of me, and exhale, bring it back. And then the other side. Now, what happens if we take the opposite arm up? And lower it back down. So now I'm extending right leg and left arm. And release. Let's do that again. Okay, now it might be interesting this time to take left leg, right arm, and then take the left arm out to the side and then come back down. And now I've got right leg, left arm, right arm out to the side. So I've got my arms going, or I've got my limbs going in 3 different directions. Let's do one more on each side. Just take your time. We've got a lot of different messages that are being sent across those hemispheres of the brain. Now, bring the hands down, bring the feet down, pause and notice for a moment how everything feels. Okay, now we're going to make our way to standing. We're going to shift our body forward. Heels are pretty much, or I'm sorry, heels and ankles are pretty much underneath my knees. I start to shift forward, push down into the feet, and make my way to standing. So let's try it again. Let's soften into the knees. Let the hips go back. Let's sit back down. And we'll try that same thing. So there's a shift. We push into feet. We can use our hands on the outside of the chair if we need to, but we push into the feet, engage those core muscles. Come on up. And there we go, standing. So now we're standing, and I've moved my chair so that it's in the center of my mat. You might want to do that. Maybe you'll have a little less furniture movement to do. We'll see how it goes. But let's come to our Tadasana with our feet straight ahead. And let's try that shift again, a little left to right shift. See how that feels. Notice the sensations in the soles of the feet. And then perhaps we come back to center and do that front back shift. Doesn't have to be big movements, but we feel the weight shifting. We feel the body adjusting. And then return to stillness in the center. Let the shoulders fall down from the ears. Notice how things feel. Now I'm standing next to my chair, and I'm going to take the leg that's next to the chair and step it forward as if I'm walking forward. So it's a step. That's all. It's not a real big, like a warrior one stance or anything, just a step forward. Both heels are on the ground. And I can use this chair next to me for support if I'd like. So what we're going to do is as we inhale, we'll reach both arms up. As we exhale, we're going to soften the knees a little bit, and I'm going to float that outside arm down. So the arm next to the chair stays up, the other one lowers to shoulder height. Knees are bent softly. Inhale, come on back up. And we'll float the arms down next to the side. Let's try that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we'll bend the knees. We'll drop that outside arm down to shoulder height. We'll come back up. And we'll float the arms down. Now, if balance is an issue today, you can take that arm next to the chair and hold on to the back of the chair. Let's try it like that. Reaching the outside arm up, bending knees, lowering that arm to shoulder height, coming back up, floating the arm down. We're going to do one more like that with the support of the chair if we need it. Float the arms down. Okay, now we have an option now. As we inhale and bring both arms up, the option is to come up onto both toes. So, of course, we can keep our hand on the chair or we can use both arms. Up to you. Go carefully, slowly. We inhale, reach the arms up, perhaps coming up onto toes. As we exhale, we bend the knees. We're still on our toes. That outside arm lowers to shoulder height. We come back up. We lower the arms down, lower the heels. One more like that. Lower the heels, lower the arms, step that front foot back, Pause for a moment and notice sensations in the body. And now the easiest way to switch sides is to walk around the back of your chair and come to the other side. So again, we're going to take the leg that's next to the chair and step it forward, almost as if we're walking. So this isn't a real big distance between the heel of my foot and the toe of the other one. It's a few inches. It's just like a walking stance. Both heels stay on the floor. We'll inhale. We can try reaching both arms up. Now the outside arm is going to lower to shoulder height. The knees will bend. Come on back up. Arms float down. Try that again. You know you can keep this arm next to the chair, on the chair back if you like. Follow the breath, moving fluidly. Let the breath be fluid. Let the motion be fluid. We'll try one more with heels on the ground. And then we have that option to lift the heels. So as we inhale, we come up onto toes. One or both arms come up. As we exhale, we're going to soften into the knees, reach that outer arm forward to shoulder height. Come back up on your inhale, straightening legs. And then as we exhale, we float everything down. Again, moving smoothly, fluidly. One more time. Arm could be here, or it might go up. Lower heels, lower arms. Step back. And take a moment to see how all of that feels in the body. So staying right here next to your chair, again, the leg that's next to the chair, that'll be our standing leg. We're going to come into tree pose. So we can bend that outside leg. We can open that knee out to the side and plant the foot, the heel on the foot, the heel on the ankle, or slide that up and bring it to the shin. Now, you might notice that if you're standing here and the hip starts to go to the side, we really want to straighten out that spine. Lifting ribs out of hips, getting taller. You might have hands at heart. That's a good indicator to the brain that this is the middle. Or you might decide to reach arms overhead and bring palms together over the head. Come back to that smooth and fluid breath. You may notice that that ankle is doing a lot of adjusting. That's what it takes to keep us upright. So it's doing its job. Good work. Bring thumbs back down to heart. Release that knee forward. Step down. Release the hands. Wiggle the hips. You can shake out that standing leg. And then just pause for a moment and notice how that feels in the body. Now I'm going to walk to the other side. The leg next to the chair is my standing leg, so I know that I can keep this hand on the back of my chair to support me if I need it. You might bring both hands to heart center or one, that's fine. We're going to shift the weight into the standing leg, bend that outside leg, open it out to the side. Heel on top of the foot, heel on ankle, or that foot on the shin. Find balance here. Notice what's going on with the foot and the ankle of that standing leg. You might decide to bring those arms overhead. Bring hands back to heart. Release the knee forward. Step down, release the arms. Maybe sway those hips side to side or shake out that standing leg. Check in with those sensations in the body. Okay, one more balancing pose, and I am going to move my chair, but you could just walk around. But we're going to face the seat of the chair, facing the seat of the chair, working with a little supported warrior 3. So soft knees here, and I'm going to bring my hands down to the seat of the chair. Seat of the chair. My knees are soft. I have a nice long spine. My neck is in line with the spine, so my eyes are focused probably on the back part of my chair here. Let's bring that left leg in closer to center. Let's bring both legs a little closer together. And then as we inhale, we'll take the right leg back. We can stay on the right toes, or we can lift that leg off the ground. And then we're going to come back to center. Same leg. Let's lift it on the inhale. And exhale, return. Try it again. Reach through the heel. This next one, we're going to stay here with that leg extended. So toes might still be on the floor. You're reaching through the heel. You might be up an inch or two or a few more inches. Doesn't matter. We're balancing on one leg. We're breathing here. Try to come back to that smooth and fluid breath. And then release that foot back down next to its neighbor. You might want to bend one knee and then the other, just shifting those hips side to side. Okay, and then we're going to shift to the other side. So my right foot is pretty much in the center now, and I'm going to take those left toes back. And then bring them back. Okay, so we'll add in the breath. We can inhale, reach back behind us. And exhale, return. Just see what it feels like as we explore balance this way. And next time we lift that leg, wherever it is, we're going to stay there, reaching through the heel, finding balance here. And then return that leg next to its neighbor. We're going to soften into the knees. We'll transfer one hand to each thigh, push into both feet. And let's come back up to standing. Take a circle with those shoulders. Let everything feel good. Shake out the arms. We're going to make our way back down to seated. So one last time, I'm going to move my chair. And let's sit down. So I'm still connected to the floor. I want to feel that sensation underneath my feet. I want to tune in to the sensation underneath my sitting bones. And let's do a little left and right shift. Hands are resting in the lap. And then we'll do a little front and back shift. Maybe a circle or two. First one way, and then the other. And then come back to center. Come back to center. The invitation is to soften or close your eyes. Let's turn palms up in the lap. Come back to the smooth, fluid breath. And notice how you feel after exploring balance and yoga. Now we'll stack those palms at heart center and recall the intention that we set at the beginning of our class. And then we'll release those hands back down to our lap. Blink open the eyes if they're closed. We'll bring palms together. Let the thumbs rest on your sternum. And take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to practice yoga today. This is a quick practice. It's something that you can do several days, right? Anytime you have a little period of time, turn this on. Practice balance. Stay well, my friends. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. I'll see you again soon.